Hello, ladies and gents, and welcome to tonight's episode of Morte. Tonight, King Arthur himself will be saved by good old Sir Tristram. So hello, and good evening to you all. How are you? Hello, Queen. Hello, Danny. Hello, Taz. Hello, Rabbit. Hello, Kathy. Hello. Come in, guys. You're very, very welcome. Hello, Aggie. How are you? I have good news for you tonight, Aggie. After this, I will read Caedmon's hymn in Old English and the translation as well. So you requested Caedmon's hymn in Old English tonight for Poetry Live. I will bring it out and bring it back. So, hello. Welcome back, Rabbit. Great to see you. Great to see all of you. Hello, new people. Hello, welcome people popping through. Excellent to see you. I hope you enjoy the show tonight. Periscope's playing its silly little games with me, so I'm going to switch to having the laptop on for comments because that works better for reasons that have never been explained. But we just accept now the fact that if I want to get some decent comments, let's stick that there. Absolutely, it will be a new experience for me trying to mangle my way through Old English in front of a live audience, Aggie. So we'll see how we go. I hope it will come across well. But the numbers keep changing as to who is here. We've got Heshem. Hello, Heshem. We've got Gatch. Hello, Gatch. Hello, guys. So for some reason, Queen, it's giving me random numbers as to how many people are here and who is here. But I'll say hello and you expect to say so. Hello, Mert. Hello, Matt. Come in, guys. Come in. Hello, Christopher. How are we all this evening? Are we well? Are we looking forward to tonight's? Hello, Karen. For those of you who are new, my name is Simon, and every night I come here onto Periscope to read the tales of King Arthur as they should be told, live with hand gestures and much smiting and daring do. So hello, Karen. Hello, welcome. We'll give it another minute and then we'll get into tonight's story. And don't worry if you haven't been here before, because at the start of every story I do a recap of where we've been before. So we'll bring you up to speed and then bring you into all the good stuff. But tonight is a good episode, I can tell you that. I've been really looking forward to this. I know Queen said that she would barely be able to sleep last night for thinking about how good tonight's episode will be, because we are going to have King Arthur being saved by Sir Tristram and Tristram being finally reunited with his love, the Lady Isolde. And so, without much further ado, ladies and gents, let's get into the recap of the show. So, we are telling the tale of Sir Tristram, undeniably the second greatest knight in all the world, behind only Sir Lancelot himself. Sir Tristram has been much beloved of Queen Isolde of Cornwall, and yet the Queen, being married to King Mark of Cornwall, was not permitted for him, and yet Queen Isolde fell in love with Sir Tristram anyway, and when Sir Tristram was caught in bed with the Queen, then he was forced to make his flight from Cornwall to the land of Brittany in France. Queen Isolde was locked up in the castle, and Tristram, it seemed, forgot that his true beloved was left in England. For whilst he was there in in Brittany, there did he come across the Lady Isolde of Brittany. To Isolde. What was Sir Tristram to do? Sir Tristram quickly fell in love with the new Isolde and agreed to marry her, only remembering upon his wedding night that he'd left behind his true love in Cornwall. And then did Tristram refuse to consummate his marriage. Then did he remember who he truly loved. But it was too late for Tristram. Word had passed into England that Sir Tristram had been unfaithful to his beloved, and that great knight Sir Lancelot, undisputedly great in the eyes of all the world, swore that because Tristram had betrayed his one true love, if ever Tristram were to set foot in England again, then would Sir Lancelot have his head. It's been hard work convincing Lancelot to forgive Tristram, but at last it seems that Sir Lancelot has forgiven Tristram of his trespass. Sir Tristram has now come to England to reunite with the Lady Isolde, who's asked him to come to court with his wife Isolde of Brittany, so that her husband King Mark won't suspect Tristram's true feelings towards her. Now Tristram is out and afoot in England on his way to Cornwall, and there has come across many a great adventure, has met with Sir Lancelot himself, and seen King Arthur in the distance of the perilous forest. Tonight, ladies and gents, we join. Life is never easy, Chris, but certainly not back then. But on the plus side, you had a sword to deal with your problems, and a squire to deal with the ones that your sword couldn't fix. Tonight we join Tristram and King Arthur in the forest perilous upon the way to King Mark's castle. Ladies and gents, let's get off with their heads and into tonight's show. Now, shall we hear what was the cause of King Arthur came into the forest perilous? And that forest was in North Wales. And how that was by means of a lady that King Arthur did arrive. Her name was Anora. And this lady came to King Arthur at Cardiff, and she, by fair promise and fair behests, made King Arthur ride with her into that forest perilous. She was a great sorceress, and many days she had loved King Arthur, and by cause she would have had him to lie by her as soon as he came into that country. So, when the king was gone with her, many of his knights followed after King Arthur when they missed him, as Sir Lancelot, Brandil, and many other. And when she had brought him to her tower, she desired the king to lie with her. And it was then that the king remembered his own lady, Guinevere, and would not lie by that witch for no craft that she could do. Then, every day, she would make Arthur ride into the forest with his own knights, to the intent of having King Arthur slain. For when this lady Anora saw that she might not have him at her will, then did she labour by false means to have King Arthur destroyed and slain. But the Lady of the Lake, who was always friendly to King Arthur, she understood by her subtle crafts that King Arthur was like to be destroyed. And therefore this Lady of the Lake, that was called Nimue, came into that forest to seek after Sir Lancelot the Lake, or Sir Tristram, to help King Arthur. For as that same day this Lady of the Lake knew well that King Arthur would be slain if no one could intervene, and thus she sought the help of one of those two knights, and thus she rode up and down through the forest perilous until she met with Sir Tristram, and anon as she saw him, she knew him. "O my lord, Sir Tristram," said she, "well be you met, and blessed be the time that I have met you. For this same day, and within these 2 hours shall be done the foulest deed that ever was done in all of this land. Fair damsel, said Sir Tristram, may I amend this? Come with me, she said, that is, in all the haste that you may, for you shall see the most worshipfullest knight of the world hard bested. Very well then, said Sir Tristram, I am ready to help such a noble man. He is neither better nor worse, said the Lady of the Lake, for he is the noble King Arthur himself. God defend, said Tristram, that ever he should be in such distress. Then they rode together at a great pace, until they came to a little turret or castle, and underneath that castle they saw a knight standing upon foot, fighting with 2 knights, and so did Sir Tristram behold them. Then, at the last, the 2 knights smote down the one knight, and that one of them unlaced his helm and would have slain him by his head. Then did the Lady Anora grab King Arthur's sword in her hand to behead him herself. Therewith, though, came Sir Tristram with all his might, crying, Traitress! Traitress! Leave that man alone! And anon there Sir Tristram smote down one of the knights back in sunder. Then through the body he fell dead, and he rushed to the other, smiting him through his rear. And in the meanwhile the Lady of the Lake cried to King Arthur, Let not that false lady escape. Then did King Arthur overtake her, and with the same sword he smote off her head, and the Lady of the Lake took up her head, and hung it up by the hair of her saddle bow. Then Sir Tristram horsed King Arthur, and rode forth with him. But he charged the Lady of the Lake not to reveal his name at this time. And when the king was horsed, he thanked heartily Sir Tristram, and desired to know his name. But he would not tell him, but instead said that he was but a poor knight looking for adventure. And so he bade King Arthur fellowship till he met with some of his knights, and within a while he met with Sir Ector de Maris, and he knew not King Arthur nor Sir Tristram, and he desired to joust with one of them. Then Sir Tristram rode unto Sir Ector, smote him from his horse, and when he had done so he came again to the king and said, My lord, yonder is one of your knights. He may bear you fellowship, and another day that deed that I have done you, for I trust to God that you will understand that I will do you service. Alas, said King Arthur, let me know your name then. Not at this time, said Sir Tristram, and so he departed, and left King Arthur and Sir Ector together. There we are, halfway through tonight's tales, ladies and gents. King Arthur saved by Sir Tristram and the Lady of the Lake from the evil sorceress Eanwe. I hope that got your blood boiling. I certainly enjoyed that. Sir Tristram has saved King Arthur, and yet he's refused to let King Arthur know his name. At some point, he will reveal his name and offer himself in friendship and loyalty to King Arthur, but not right now. What reason could he possibly have? Well, perhaps, ladies and gents, because he is riding now towards Cornwall, riding towards his one true love, the Lady Isolde, who waits for him there. And now, ladies and gents, and hello, Grace, come in, you're more than welcome. Ladies and gents, let's round off the second part of tonight's tale. Rabbit excited, I'm excited, as we get those horses spurred up and we head down towards the castle of King Mark to reunite with the Lady Isolde once more and prove that there is nothing that cannot triumph if not for love and a bit of plate mail armour. Then, at a day set Sir Tristram and Sir Lamorak to meet at a well, and when they met there they took Sir Kerius, who was Tristram's brother-in-law, to a forester's house, and then rode with him to the ship where they had left the Lady Bragwaine, who was Queen Isolde of Cornwall's handmaiden, and Gouvernail, who was Sir Tristram's squire. Together the four of them, hello Grace! Together the four of them sailed into Cornwall together, and by assent and information of Dame Bragwaine, when they were landed, they rode to Sir Dinner, the seneschal, who was a trusted friend of Sir Tristram's. And so Dame Bragwaine and Sir Dinas rode to the court of King Mark, and they told the Queen Isolde that Sir Tristram was nigh in the country. Then, for very pure joy, the Queen Isolde swooned, and when she might speak, she said, "Gentle knight seneschal, help that I might speak with him, otherwise my heart will break." Then Sir Dinah and the Dame Bragwaine brought Sir Tristram and Sir Kedius privily into the court, unto a chamber where the Queen Isolde had been assigned, and to tell the joys that then were between the Queen Isolde and Sir Tristram I cannot, for there is no tongue that can tell it, nor heart that think it, nor pen that can even write it. And as the French book makes mention, at the first time that ever Sir Kedius saw the Lady Isolde, he was so enamoured upon her, that for very pure joy he might never withdraw that love. And at the last, as you shall hear, or else how this book will be ended, Sir Kedius would die for the love of Queen Isolde of Cornwall. For ever after did he write in private unto her letters and ballads of the most goodliest that were used in those days. And when the Lady Isolde understood his letters, she had pity of his complaint, and, unadvised, she wrote another letter to comfort him withal. And Sir Tristram was all this while in a turret at the commandment of the Queen Isolde, so that she might come unto Sir Tristram there. And so, on a day, King Mark played at the chess under a chamber window, and at that time Sir Tristram and Sir Kedius were within the chamber above Sir King Mark, and it so mishapped that Sir Tristram found the letter that Kedius had written unto the Queen Isolde, and also he found a letter that she had written unto Kedius. And at the same time the Queen Isolde was in the chamber, and then did Sir Tristram come unto her and said, "Madam, here is a letter that was sent unto you, and here is the letter that you sent him that sent you that letter. Alas, madam, for the good love that I have loved you, and many lands and riches that I have forsaken to love you. Now it seems that you are a traitress for me, and that does me great pain. But as for you, Sir Kedius, I brought you out of Brittany and into this country, and your father, King Howell, I won his lands, and yes, I wedded your sister, Isolde of Brittany, for the goodness that she did unto me, and yet I am a true knight, and she is still a clean maiden for me. But know you well, Sir Kedius, for this falsehood and for this treason that you have done me, I will revenge it upon you." And therewith Sir Tristram drew out his sword and said, "Sir Kedius, keep yourself." Then did Queen Isolde swoon to the earth. And when Sir Kedius saw Sir Tristram come upon him, he saw no other boot, but leapt out of a bay window even over the head, where sat King Mark playing at the chess. And when the King Mark saw one come hurling over his head, he said, "Fellow, who are you? What is the cause for you to leap out of that window?" "My lord the king," said Kedius, "it fortuned me that I was asleep in the window above your head, and as I slept I slumbered. And so I fell down, and thus Sir Cedius excused himself. And there, ladies and gents, we end tonight's tale. We will continue tomorrow, though, with our tale of Sir Tristram, who now believes himself betrayed, even though the Lady Isolde did nothing other than to reply in a good-natured way to the letters of Sir Cedius. However, I do want to draw attention to that which I think has been my favourite line so far, of to tell the joys that were between the Lady Isolde and Sir Tristram, I cannot. For there is no tongue that can tell it, nor heart that can think it, nor pen that can write it. If that is not the best description of love between Tristram and Isolde, I don't know what is, ladies and gents. That is pretty killer as far as I'm concerned. So I hope that you all enjoyed that, and thank you. Thank you, Grace. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Rosella. Thank you, Karen. Thank you, Christopher and Aggie. Thank you, Queen and Black Rabbit and Kathy and Danny and Taz. Thank you, all of you, for coming to share that with me. I think that's an Instagram quote to go out there. That nice tale of the love between those two wonderful lovers, the best lovers in all the world. So, no, thank you guys. Thank you. Without you guys being here, there is no show. Without you guys being here, I don't get excited, I don't get passionate. So, the hearts, the sharing, the comments, that's what gets a good show. So, thank you for bringing that tonight. It's a team effort. It's always a team effort. And speaking of team efforts, as many of you will know, in 3 minutes' time, at 5:30, I will be doing my poetry show on Periscope. And I take requests for poets and poems. And so Aggie has requested that I read the oldest poem in the English language. I'm going to read Caedmon's Hymn, both in Old English and translated into modern English as well. And then I will share with you as well some Sir Gawain and the Green Knight, for Caedmon's poems are own. Actually, no, I might have some more Caedmon. I might just go and do Caedmon tonight. So we could just go. Really? I did not know that, Queen. I did not know that. That is fascinating. Well then, thank you very much for sharing. The Lady of Light is also known as the White Lady. Wonderful. But yes, there is more to come, Grace. I'm going to run downstairs because I need to go and grab some poetry. And then I will see you guys in a few minutes. I've already got a drink stood by, and I can't wait to share some more poems with you this evening. See you guys very, very, very shortly. Herbert, we've just finished this scope, but I'm going to load up the next scope for some poetry in a few minutes. So I will see you there.